Have you ever been so far behind in life that you stopped believing you could come back? Have you ever looked at your situation and thought, it's too late for me. I've lost too much. There is no way God can fix this. Let me ask you something deeper. What if the very moment you felt the most defeated was actually the moment God was setting the stage for the greatest comeback of your life? Stay with me, because this message is for you. In the world of football, there is a Spanish word, a word that makes fans go absolutely wild. That word is remontada. It means a comeback, not just any comeback, a dramatic, against all odds. Everybody said it was over. Then a comeback happened. And today I want to tell you something that changed my life forever. God is the God of remontada. Don't go anywhere, because I'm about to share something personal, something I've never fully talked about, that almost destroyed me. But God turned it around. 3 years ago, I was sitting alone on the floor of a bathroom, door locked, phone off. Not because I wanted privacy, but because I didn't want anyone to hear me cry. I had just lost my job. My relationship had fallen apart. I had debt I couldn't pay. And for the first time in my adult life, I genuinely did not know if tomorrow was worth fighting for. I remember looking up at the ceiling and saying out loud, God, where are you? No thunder, no vision, no angels, just silence. And in that silence, something scary happened. I started believing the lies. The lie that said, you're too broken. The lie that said, you went too far. The lie that said, even God has given up on you. Have you ever believed those lies? Because if you have, you are not alone. I know this is getting heavy, but I need you to feel this with me, because the turnaround is coming. And when it does, it is going to blow your mind. Weeks passed, I was barely functioning. And then one Sunday morning, I don't even know why, I opened my Bible. I wasn't looking for a specific verse, I was just desperate. And I landed on Job chapter 42. If you know Job's story, you know this man lost everything. His children, his health, his wealth, his dignity. And at one point, even his closest friends told him, God must be punishing you. But then I read the end. And the Lord restored Job's losses when he prayed for his friends. Indeed, the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. Twice as much, tiny. As before, I sat there on my bed and I wept. Not from sadness, from hope. Because if God could do a remontada for Job A, maybe, just maybe, he wasn't done with me either. Something shifted in me that day. I stopped asking God, why is this happening to me? And I started asking him, what are you building in me? Because here is the truth about remontadas, whether in football or in life. The comeback never starts when you're comfortable. It starts when you're down, when the scoreboard looks impossible, when the clock is running out, when the crowd stops believing. That is the exact moment that the greatest comebacks are born. David was a shepherd boy. Nobody picked him. Nobody saw him coming. But God looked at what everyone else overlooked and said, that one. Joseph was thrown in a pit by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, thrown into prison. 3 layers of loss, 3 layers of betrayal, 3 layers of darkness. But God was engineering a promotion. And you. Listening to this right now, you are not the exception to God's pattern. You are the pattern. Don't stop now. The most important part of this message is coming right now. I want to fast forward 80 months from that bathroom I found a new job that paid more than the old one. I found healing in relationships I thought were permanently broken. I found a version of myself that I actually liked. But more than all of that, I found a God who I now know does not waste pain. Every single tear I cried on that bathroom floor, God collected it. Psalm 56 verse 8 says, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle." He wasn't absent, he was working. He wasn't silent, he was building. He wasn't finished, he was just getting started. So let me speak directly to you right now. Maybe you're in the middle of your chapter 2, and chapter 2 is hard. Maybe you've been waiting so long for a breakthrough that you've started to wonder if God forgot about you. He didn't. Maybe you look at your life right now, and all you see is the deficit, the loss, the distance between where you are and where you prayed to be. But I need you to hear this. Hear this. God doesn't look at the scoreboard the same way you do. He sees the final score, and He already wrote it in your favor. Stop rehearsing the loss. Start rehearsing the comeback. Get back on your knees. Get back in His Word. Get back in community. Do the next right thing, even when you cannot see the full picture. Because faith is trusting the director, even when you haven't read the last scene. Here is what I want you to walk away knowing today. The devil may have written your story as a tragedy, but God is the greatest editor who ever lived. He takes the deleted scenes, the broken takes, the chapters that made no sense, and He cuts them together into something that leaves the whole world speechless. You are not finished. Your story is not over. The game is not done. Because the God you serve does not do ordinary. He does remontada. So the next time life puts you 3-0 down at halftime, look up and remind yourself of one thing. My God has never lost a comeback yet, and He's not about to start with you. If this message touched your heart today, drop a comment below that says Remontada and let me know. God's not done with your story. Share this with someone who needs to hear it right now. And if you haven't already, subscribe, because every single week we come here to remind each other that God is still in the business of miracles. This is your sign. Your comeback starts today. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next one.